What's happening, everybody? Gate 7 International is back. It is a lovely night. It is a lovely night to be a fan of the red and white. Olympiacos is back, baby. Round of 16 in Europe. Here we go, the European nights. And 4 straight matches of just utter bliss, Dimitri. I'm your host, Adi. I'm joined by Dimitri Quitsidis. He's over here in London now. He was in New York. He's relocated back in the motherland, and he's enjoying himself too, for the most part, at least. Dimitri, tell me how you're feeling today.
Hey, Adi. Very, very pleased, very happy. Just arguably the most relaxed I've been watching a game of Olympiacos in years, decades, maybe my whole life. That was incredible. So happy, very, very chill, great mood, even better than I was on last Thursday or Sunday. So yeah, just couldn't be happier right now. Great stuff. Excited.
You and me both. And before we get started and really start chatting about the game, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Costs you nothing, takes about 2 seconds to do, but it means everything for us finding more and more red and white fans around the globe. We tell you guys this all the time. This project is growing beyond any capacity, at least that I imagine. We've attracted all sorts of individuals outside of Greece that come to this community now to follow things related to Greek football. It's amazing. There's a lot of fun stuff coming. And if you want to be notified about it, hit the bell. Merch is coming. We've teased a couple things. There's more stuff coming. And you guys will be able to support Gate 7 International, wear the colors, and we'll share whatever you get and you post on social media. We're excited to have all of that. And you can join us on Patreon. The group chat continues to grow, takes on a life of its own, or it really has at least. And you can join it for just $1 a month, which also helps us immensely. We invest every dollar back into the show, getting more things to just make the experience better for you. This is a fan run show. We all have the same goal, which is to grow the name of Olympiacos, share each other's opinions, share each other's voices. That's what this is about. So if you want to support us and help us continue to realize that vision, check us out on patreon.com/Gate7International. But for now, let's get to it. Let's get to the post match. Let's talk about it. Dimitri, we'll start with the starting lineup. I was really happy when I saw that starting lineup today. A little surprised by a couple of inclusions, but what were your thoughts about the lineup overall?
In my opinion, that was probably the best lineup we could have had. Um, Even though I've always been a massive fan of Masuras and the role he plays in the team, and especially in a game like today where I thought mistakenly I thought we were going to be on the back foot.
Yeah.
Happily, very glad that we weren't. So I was low key. That was the only omission that I was surprised with. I thought Masuras could have had a spot in this game, but with how good Potense's been last few games, and then the cameo he had, and then a game against PAOK, that you can't really drop him, can you? He was great. And today he was fantastic as well. So it
Yep.
kind of proved this point. The other one I was sort of thinking of was Ortega, because he didn't have the best game against PAOK. And people were sort of calling for his head last game, if I'm not mistaken. Classic sort of Greek reaction of a couple of bad minutes or a bad game, and everyone's like, "This guy is shit and needs to go." So I mean, he didn't have the best game last game, so I was maybe thinking that maybe he might drop him, but didn't, and I'm happy with that. I've liked Ortega. I think he's the best left back we have in the team, and he should be playing. So all in all, happy with the team. Surprised with maybe Masuras not playing, but in the end, it worked out brilliantly, and couldn't have been any better.
You and me both. Really, my surprise in the end was Retsos, and because I didn't know with coming back from injury, his
Already,
first match
yeah.
here with Carmo, I kind of worried about that. But they looked pretty good today, all things considered. I mean, we weren't really tested. We had thrown up at halftime. It was like 12 shots to 3 and maybe one on target for them. XG was like 1 point. I want to say it was like 1.5 to 0.12, which was ridiculous. So just to give you guys an idea, that's how lopsided the game was. And it was absolutely, it was just absolutely incredible. Um, Christo, I think there just put a message in. I think you forgot to put the message when you got the sticker, but thank you so much, buddy, for the donation. Like we always say, anytime that you make one, it all goes right back in. We're always looking for the next programs we can get, software, you name it, so that we can make better content for you. One of the next things on our list is to be able to provide better, like in-game match analysis, kind of like they do sort of on ESPN. So we're looking into some software for that as well. This stuff is pretty expensive, and we up until now everything we do has been out of our own pocket. So anything you guys do, we put right back into this because we're just trying to grow the community and grow everything related to Olympiacos. So thank you so much,
Hence,
for the donation. We really appreciate it.
hence the church mics. We're paying out of our own pocket, which is why some of us sound like a priest. If we could afford to buy the highest technology, then I don't think we'd sound like we're in a church. But we move.
we move on. And you had the lineup. It looked good. You brought up Masuras. We talked about Retos next to Carmo. And from the get-go, I mean, sure, Ferencvaros, even until the end of the 90 minutes, but especially in the first half, they were really the dominant force in possession. They had most of the ball. But it didn't matter because anytime we got the ball, we were so direct, got forward with purpose. And okay, sure, a lot of our shots in the beginning weren't really anything crazy. A lot of it was from distance, but we were making things happen and we were applying pressure, and it looked really good. And I knew it just felt like, all right, you know what? Sure, maybe these shots aren't threatening now, but we just kept building momentum and continuing and continuing and continuing. And it really, you just felt like something was happening. Then, of course, the Fortunis miss. Horta played. I don't even know how to describe that ball. It was beautiful. Costa C hates it when I use the term moist, but I'm going to say it was a moist pass.
I love that word. I love that
word. It was sublime. And then Costa misses it. And then Podence has a lovely interception. It was Abu Fani had a really bad back pass. And he intercepts it, but then he ends up whiffing it. And the penalty just kind of felt like justice because we deserved a goal at that point. And I was so worried that after we missed those two, I was like, God, I hope this doesn't haunt us, because this would be Olympiacos to be playing so well, to deserve the win, and then just to eat it in the end. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like that was a real possibility.
I'm fully with you. First thing I'm going to start with is what you said about their possession. So you can have possession and have the majority of possession, but if you're not doing anything with it, it's worthless. And exactly. They could have played for the next 10 years. I don't think they would have had a chance, let alone a goal. Do you know? No, they had one chance where I think Cisse headed it before the guy with the dreads came in behind.
Right.
He was basically like, if the second guy had got it, that would have been a goal, because he was coming in. He was completely open. If he would have got it, that would have been a goal. That was probably their only chance where I just went, oh, shit. But they had possession, but they didn't do anything with it. They weren't threatening.
Right.
I think the way we set up sort of negated that. So, yeah, them having control meant nothing in a way. I thought the way that we allowed them to have the ball was very non-threatening. So it worked in our favor. And what you're talking about, the missed chances, is it gave me, I know I brought it up in the Patreon chat, but it gave it flashbacks of the Metalist game. Yes. 12 years ago. How long was it? Was that 2012? Yeah, 2012. Yeah. Where we were so much better, and then we just had those ridiculous goals at the end with Mary's mistakes, to put it nicely. Where it literally just cost us. And I was really worried when we missed. Okay, Fortunis one, fantastic through ball. It sort of reminded me of Xavi Alonso, Steven Gerrard sort of through ball. It was sexy. You use the word moist, I use the word sexy. It was beautiful. Fortunis' shot was all right. It wasn't the sort of opportunity where you're pulling your hair out going, how the hell did he miss? You're not going onto the pitch trying to like punch him up going, how did you miss that? Podence's one, you're running onto the pitch going, how the fuck did you miss that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because all you've got to do is just as long as your foot isn't under the ball, like that, like he had the whole goal to aim at, so it's not an issue of aiming it. It's just making sure you're hitting it in the on the right angle. That, at least that's what it looks like to someone from the TV. Obviously, completely different when you're playing. Do you know what I mean? So that chance, I was like, oh my god, this was it. We fucked it. That should have been it. And then the penalty happens, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, we're gonna miss this. It's gonna end 0-0 at halftime. Then we're gonna concede something stupid in the second half, and we're gonna be literally like crying for the rest of the year until the next European campaign. But the minute Okabe scored, and very, very cool penalty, very calm and collected. Like he did not look under. He was like he was shooting that pen as if he was in training. He looked so cool about it. So the minute that went in, I was just like, calm. We got it. We got the goal that we needed. We've taken advantage of our chances. That was it. That's it. We look in control. We've got this. That's my thoughts about. And then the second half was calm.
And real quick before we like move on to the second half, because the chat's already getting on it. There's chat already talking about Horta, and comment here from Yorgos Moutsanos. Horta was so good today. So many kilos of ball. Only thing is him shooting outside the box and start a couple of times, which pissed me off, but I was expecting it because I watched Adi's scouting report. I said it on socials already. I told you guys. Like there's some scouting reports. Like for me, it was like Mbam Hwang last year, and I compared Horta's film and tape. The same feeling I got was the same with Mbam Hwang. Like the guy just oozes class. He's so good. And somebody had also asked me, like, do you prefer Horta or Chiquinho? And like they're a little bit different players, especially one is a little bit better on the build-up side of things. But Horta's a different sauce, and he just got great vision. His technique is incredible too. I mean, like so clean on that touch. I don't even think Lambro would have anything bad to say about him. Speaking of Lambro,
reminds me of a Portuguese Henry Onyekuru. You know what?
Stop it.
Jokes. All happy. Yeah, guys, the midfield was really good today. How about that? I also rated Chiquinho. Chiquinho's body positioning, dribble, first touch is really good. When there's a player on his back, he has this first touch spin thing he does. Like the way he uses his bodies when defenders are approaching are really impressive. So I'm just going to give him a shout out because I know Horta is going to get all the acclaims tonight, but Chiquinho really good as well.
Wasn't he the one who had that opportunity in the second half where he sort of Ronaldo chopped, he cut back inside, and the defender took his legs out from underneath him, and then another guy fell on top of him, and the ref didn't give anything.
And what about the back
heel? What Labro just said, like he knew exactly where the guy was, cuts inside, has his legs taken out from under him. I think on the edge of the box. Was it inside or outside? But it was basically on the line, and you're thinking, yeah, great, brilliant. The ref didn't give it, but that was like exactly what you just described. So I'm fully with you on that.
And then the back heel pass that almost went through Bense in the first half for a goal.
Yeah,
so
that's
so naughty.
He's got flair. I think that was like the first thing I had said about him, Chiquinho, at least in the scouting report.
Can we pull up the Zidane Chiquinho meme? I know
oh God, I saw that.
It's so good. I need to pull it up.
But I mean, look, I think we finally found our midfield. You know what I mean? Like what I love about Horta too is like this was a real 4-3-3, not like 4-2-3-1 with Alexandropoulos and God knows where he is running all over the forward part of the field. Horta stays, and the space between him, Heze, and Chiquinho, nothing in the first half, like as many entries into our final third that they had, nothing happened. It was all going around the sides because our midfield was nice, compact. Nobody could really get anywhere doing anything. It was fantastic to watch. I don't know really what else to say. It's weird that for the first time, we're looking at our midfield and it's like, guys, this is the strong part of the team now. Like this is, we were worried about where our core was coming from. Where was our backbone coming from going into the summer? Well, this is it. This is fucking it. You buy Horta yesterday. $4.5 million was the buyout, right? You buy this guy yesterday. You figure out how the hell you're going to get Carmo too. Carmo's such a calming presence too. I know we were talking about midfield, but man, it's so nice to have somebody that's not making me shit a brick every time somebody comes into our final third. It's ridiculous. But yeah, God, Gelson Martins is going to become healthy soon. And we already saw that some of the quality he had. And man, look how quickly we went from shambolicness, shambolicy,
shambles.
Shambles. You need a journalist to tell you that, Adi.
Gee, I mean, I knew Americans couldn't speak English, but come on, Christ.
But Adi, I'm going to jump on your point on Carmo. The first 15 minutes, the difference between Carmo and Retsos was like, this is why this team has sucked for the first half of the year. You have one defender who's very calm, no nerves, play with his feet, with his head, fine. And then you see Retsos getting tight, committing fouls, looking a bit sloppy. The first half of the season, we were playing with like almost two Retsos, like Freire and Retsos, where they're a bit nervy. But you notice by 30 minutes, 45 minutes, Retsos himself starts calming down, like starts playing real football. And you're like, this is what this guy needed for so long. He's a good player, but like he can't be the guy, he cannot be the guy. And Carmo is like shown up, and it's like he's 34, not 24. I swear to God, he's so calm. Yeah. And his decision making is good, and that's all it takes, man. Like sometimes, as Martial and I, going back to conversations we had in the summer, it's like sometimes you just got to put out the money for a striker and a central defender. Like those positions, like Carmo is probably a 10 to 15 million euros central defender that we got in, kind of lucky, and it's like those level of defenders just change your team completely. It's just impressive. It's incredibly impressive.
Well, you saw like in the beginning, I think you actually had said in the group chat, like Retsos is kind of all over the place. But did you see Carmo when Retsos had he fell? They came into like the final third, and he fell, but then got up, and you see him kind of going back forth, and Carmo's looking at him. He's like, just chill, relax. Retsos needs somebody like that next to him. It's very clear. For not every player can be the leader. Not every person has what it takes to be like that guy in the back. And that's fine. You don't have to be. But if you don't have that, you need to find somebody that can assume that role or assume that persona. And Carmo just seemed like he was able to calm Retsos down after a few of those early plays. And then they both looked really good, I thought, the rest of the game. So especially Retsos I thought he was pretty good in the air today too, all things considered.
I was literally about to say, you're talking about all that. I thought Retsos had a pretty good game, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was great in the air today.
I had my dad next to me who rarely watches football going, I really hope this is our starting centre-back for Greece. Like, that's literally what he was saying. I hope this guy starts for the Greek national team. And I was like, let's not get on that just yet, Dad. But but I thought he had a good game, Retsos. I agree with what Labro's saying, that Carmo's definitely more relaxed and calm, but it's not necessarily that Retsos always needs someone like that. Yeah, it helps, but he is a good player. Like he's by far our best centre back. I mean, before Carmo came, he was the only sort of shining beacon in that first half of the season when it came down to centre backs. If you compare him to the shit we had to endure next to him, do you know what I mean?
He made Carmo's played now with three central defenders. He's played with Biancone, Doi, and Retsos. And out of each game, everyone's like, wow, Biancone played really great against PAOK. And then Doi looked really great. And it's like, I wonder why, guys. I wonder why Doi, Biancone, and Retsos are now starting to look like proper defenders.
Which one of these can actually do it without Carmo next to them? That's how we know who the best one is. And obviously it's Retsos, because we've seen him do it without him next to him, thankfully.
Well, the thing also with Retsos is, you see, Retsos, we always knew he could carry the ball forward. But Retsos actually, as a center defender, is one of the highest progressive ball progressors, we'll say, dribbling the ball in the league. And that's as a center back. And look how fun that was today. You have two center backs that are great on the ball. So you have two guys that can distribute the ball very well out of the back. We have not seen that since back in the day when Semedo was here, and we had that season where Hussein Uba was like playing. He would look really bad in preseason, then took off during the year. We had two guys that could really play the ball and not just hoof it downfield. Carmo and Retzos can do that. And Retzos has the ability to carry the ball forward too. So like we looked multifaceted on the defense. Of course, you have Rodinei on the wing. Ortega was Ortega.
That's the issue
today.
on the side. Like, honestly, when I look at the team now, it's like it's a real battle to get in that starting 11. But or if Richards is in the European list, if like Richards,
Yes.
we look at the net. We talked about this a week ago. When you look at the schedule of Olympiacos, we have a few 3 gimme league games. Like if Richards can somehow get into the team or produce something to challenge Ortega, that would be brilliant, because Ortega for me has been the weak link. The three games we've seen where we've looked good, the only person where you're really like freaking out when he's on the ball or doing something is Ortega. So I don't know. Richards could be an option. I hope they give him a chance in the league. We see if he's fit, but nevertheless, it's not like Ortega is god awful as well. It's just like everyone else has raised their level, and it's just he has not risen to that level either. So
it's also the expectation, right? Because we paid $4 million for him, and it's like I expect more for a player that we paid $4 million for. Like if we had paid $1 or $2 million for him, then maybe I wouldn't be as like disappointed. But you paid $4 million for this guy. You paid $4 million for Heze. I feel like we're getting value out of Santiago Heze, especially on the defensive side of things. But Ortega's nowhere near where I expect a $4 million signing for us to be. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Maybe I'm comparing him too much to Kini, which is why I don't. Which is why I don't. Maybe I'm not on your level of this, not dislike but criticism yet. Just because maybe I'm comparing him to Kini, and I'm just like, this guy is basically Roberto Carlos in comparison. So.
I also want to bring something up someone said, and I have been feeling this, but scared to say it as well. Where is it? I'm pulling up the comment. Oh, I lost it. Oh, here it is. I also have liked the freaking Ibora setup shop at the end of games. Like, I don't think he can play in and out for Olympiacos, but like the guy is almost like a power forward on Olympiacos BC. Like he comes in, he just produces a body in the box, and he's good and tackles. He can't move very well. He's like Mustafa Fall, but out on a football pitch or something. It's reassuring. I don't know why, but like his leadership and calmness. He had a good tackle today. Like, he brought some sort of like, okay, calm down. After Joao Carvalho came on, he was going everywhere and anywhere. It was like Ibora came on. It was like, okay, we calm down.
It reminds me of James Milner coming on for Liverpool for about 4 seasons straight, coming on the 80th minute and just playing the last 10 minutes of pretty much every single game just to shore up the defenses.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with him doing that. I'm fully okay with him doing that. You sort of forget how big he
is not bad. Like the European list, looking at the starting 11 we have, like there are options off the bench as well. I don't know how they did it, but it's just like, it's not bad. It's not so bad. The manager has options.
Yep.
The one thing you wish was Navarro. If Navarro was in there as an option at striker, it was like, okay, this team has options in Europe. Like this team could do something.
He's not in the list, is he? Navarro's not in the list.
No, he's not.
I don't think Gelson Martins or Jovan Cabral are like a huge list in the European list.
Martins isn't in it either. Martins.
No, it's
neither
only,
of them are in
only
it.
Chiquinho, Horta, and Carmo. That was it.
Carmo, but like, I don't know, with those two guys, Chiquinho and Horta, they've completely changed, and Carmo, those 3 guys have completely changed the whole club, like almost from the spine. They've absolutely brought new life into the team, and thank you, Carlos Carvajal, I guess is the.
There was that comment earlier that said we should bring Carvajal back as a scout.
Yeah.
Also, do you?
But talking about, hold on, Adi, I want to bring in another scout here. Look at this guy pouring a drink mid call up. Here he is. Costa with the C is in the chat. Let's hear it.
What's happening?
Nothing much.
Good night tonight, isn't it?
It was a really good night.
You're lagging a little bit, bro.
He's lagging.
Yeah, it's
He's
a little bit
cutting in and
slow.
out.
It's that Belgian Wi-Fi, you know.
Mate, you took the words out of my mouth.
I thought
yeah, he's
Costa was
fully
traveling
lagging.
to the UK this week. Maybe it's that
I think
UK
he's coming.
Wi-Fi.
I think he said tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, Wi-Fi over here is flying, mate. It's that Brexit and that. The minute we left the EU, we got good Wi-Fi. That's the only positive.
Costa, can you hear us?
I can.
Oh, there we go.
I still got my drink too.
Okay.
Still got my drink.
Look at
Incredible.
that comment.
What's
Costa
going
seems
on?
drunk without drinking. He's drunk from happiness. He's drunk from Olympiacos. That happens. Oh no, he's muted. We can't.
Well,
Now
we
he's
can't hear
muted.
you.
We can't hear him. What a disaster. We can't hear
I
you,
don't know what's
Costa.
happening.
Nope, we can't hear anything, Costa.
It is a Carlos Carvajal style masterclass from Costa with a C, right?
What, non-existent?
Well, while Costa's fixing his stuff, Lambro, were you watching the Paramount Plus stream today?
I was, yeah.
When Ibora came on and like got into like his first little, I think like duel, we'll call it, the announcer, who I'm pretty sure was the BBC guy, James Fields or whatever his name is.
Okay.
I'm already forgetting, but he's like, Ibora, the Spanish giant is here. Like after he just rolled over someone, he's like, he's the biggest person on the field. It's just
He's
making
absurd.
me laugh.
Do you guys have British commentary for European games?
It depends. Yeah, like Paramount Plus. I'll tell you who it was.
Because we have, because our European games are on Discovery Plus, so I'm guessing they might be owned by the same. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's
probably
owned by
do.
Fieldin.
TNT.
James
owned by
Fielden was
TNT.
ours. That was our
Okay.
guy.
I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, he was messaging with us before the game about Olympiacos too. So I appreciate that he wanted to do his research before each game.
But on
I think-
another note,
Do you know what?
Yeah,
I think
go
we
ahead.
had the same commentator.
Probably. How many
'cause he does
British
TNT.
commentators are they going to bring on for Olympiacos game? They're going to have like 5 of them on call.
You mean they don't just like grow them in East London? I thought that's where they come from.
I don't think so.
It's North London, actually. That's where all the Greeks live in London.
Wait, he also called Podence the pint-sized Portuguese.
Yes, same guy. Same guy.
Okay.
We had the same commentator. My guy.
Incredible.
That got me. That was jokes. But
This has to be working now.
It's
Yes, it
working out.
is. We hear
Yeah.
you.
Yes. And I
Incredible.
still
What's
have
up?
my drink.
Tell us your feeling on the game. We were just briefly talking about the game itself, and then of course players that we liked, Horta, Chiquinho, everybody. So give us quickly, since you just joined, your thoughts on the game and some of the players.
I just think it's amazing the transformation that's taken place in the last week or 10 days or however many days the new coach is here. And I think he probably gets 75%, like 3/4 of all the credit for the transformation. And then obviously you look at players like Chiquinho, Andre Horta and Carmo. I think they've had an instant impact. And it's, there's a discussion that we've been having privately in our own chat. One of those things where we say player needs time to adapt, coach needs time to adapt and get his ideas installed into the team and so on and so forth. You look at the impact this coach has had and the impact that these players have had in such a little time, and you think, if you're good, and if you have quality, if you have if you command respect, like you command respect from day one. Like look at Carlos Carvajal's body language on the bench compared to Mendilibar. Mendilibar's on his feet all the game, shouting, commands or like instructions to the players. He's guiding them pretty much throughout the whole game. So I think that for me is just really incredible. There were moments during the game today where I'm just watching, I'm thinking, is this the team that I've been watching the last 2 seasons, like haul ass and just like I couldn't, like, there were just moments where you couldn't believe it. And I do think that Ferencvaros are a decent towards like good team, but they didn't threaten us today.
They hadn't
Did
lost the
they?
game. They hadn't lost the game since July in Europe, and they lost 2 against us.
With like 2 clean sheets as well. And honestly, it could have and should have been more today. Like Jovetic has a really good opportunity at the end of the game. There's the 2 chances before the penalty. Those are big chances. And the last thing I'll say as an introductory comment is just the manager's getting something out of everyone. So Iborra comes in, plays an important role. I would say the last 15 minutes of the game, makes a few important tackles, like wins a few headers, holds on to the ball, distributes it well. Even Jovetic, like the bit part that he had under Martinez, basically, you didn't really see much from him when he'd come on. Or like the West Ham game, he was invisible. Today he's come on, like he's been on the ball. He's had a shot on target with really good save. So we have hope again, and more. Like I expect again from this team. I expect us to really like take it to the opposition in Greece now. And I wrote it on my socials earlier. I think we've put Greece on notice. Like if I'm Panathinaikos, I can PAOK, I would start to get scared.
Yeah. Pants are getting a little soiled. I would agree with you.
But I want to jump on that thing Costa said, and since Martial's not here, I'll represent him, but he says it all the time. He's been working in football for years, like next to teams. And he says, I need time for ideas, time for players, is like bullshit that managers make, to have an excuse because people get fired so fast in football. But one thing he always says, like when there's a new manager, when there's a new player, like within 3 or 4 games, whether this is going to be good or bad. Like it's pretty quick in football. It's kind of weird. But the whole thing of like, oh, I need 3 months, I need 6 months, I need a preseason. It's kind of like sometimes an excuse of managers and players who aren't playing well or are out of form or something. Like this guy has just showed up. And it was the same thing with Michel, let's be honest. Like at last, like he showed up to a shit show, the third manager in months. And Olympiacos was like 3 points off second place when he left or something. We were close. And he showed up and we won a shit ton of games. And so this whole thing of like, oh, he needs 6 months to be here to prove he's capable. Again, it was like with Carvajal, after 3 games, you're like, we're screwed. Like this guy, this is not a good manager. Like we brought the wrong person. And you can just see it. Like it's so weird, but you can see it at Olympiacos. I think one of the reasons why is because the team does have quality as well.
Yeah.
Like during these shitty periods, like, oh, everyone's shit, everyone sucks, blah, blah, blah. Like Podense, Fortunis, like some of these players are good, Rodinei. It just need a manager to put it all together. And he's put it all together in like, he came Monday of last week. Right?
It was his first training on Monday.
His first training was Monday. It's been like 10 days, guys. It's been 10 days.
Look at the set pieces today. Did you guys talk about that already?
Yes.
No, I was going to bring that up next.
The set pieces are crazy.
Before we jump on set pieces, though, I just want to touch on something literally about what Labro just said. I had that feeling, though, with Martinez at the start. So let's not jump too far ahead, because if you remember the European games and the start of the season, even the AEK game, yeah, we drew 1-1, but we were in control. And I reckon if he had pushed for that a little bit more, if he didn't have Freiburg in the back of his mind, I reckon we could have won that game, because I thought we were the better team. We played as much as we needed to get a 1-1 draw in there. So I was very happy and optimistic at the back of the first 2 or 3 months of Martinez, and then the Freiburg game, and then the Topola game, and then, etc., etc. But let's just not get too carried away and think that this man is a miracle worker.
He's not
Or that he's
Jesus
the best
walking on
coach.
water.
Yeah, he's not Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola just yet. Let's wait and see. Just because you know how quick people jump down coaches' throats in Greece or players' throats.
The biggest thing I would say too is this guy knows how to play European football. Like he manages European games right.
Yeah.
Like
he's logical. He's logical.
Big teams as well.
Like it's clear this guy like knows knockout football. Like he could be shit and be gone in 6, but like in the week to 2 weeks he's been here, you're like, this guy's understands like how these games are won. Versus Diego Martinez and Carlos Carvajal, who I don't think, Martinez, I don't think ever coached in a knockout round of European games, or Carvajal. Anyway, the guy's obviously knows what he's doing. That showed more in the first game when he was like, 1-0 is not a good enough lead. Throw Jovetic out there. We need another goal going away. It's like, this guy gets it. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to Dimitri's point, like also like we're coming off of we literally had a Pedro Martins from Wish brought here, and that's also pretty bad. So like when you're comparing the two, of course he looks a lot better. But I get what you're saying, Dimitri. But just the fact that he's much more pragmatic with the decisions. I'm glad you like that. But I'm glad he makes better decisions with the players. And like, I know we worry about the fact that he kind of sticks to the scheme, but for us, like we've got quality. We needed to bring this team back to basics. We needed to not overthink ourselves. And I also loved that in 10 days, we now have set piece ideas instead of just throw 4 people in the box, kick it hopefully into the far corner and we do something, but usually end up giving our opponents a counter. I like that today.
And also, Adi, no disrespect to the other teams in Greece or the other teams in the Conference League, but we don't need to be doing something insane to win these games. We play simple, we play basic, we play well in the basic way, and we're in with a good chance of doing really well. It's not like we're playing against Real Madrid or Man City where we need to do something out of the box to win those games, at least in my opinion. Like none of the teams in the Conference League are like world beaters that you're like, oh my God, these are the best teams in the world. Do you know what I mean? And the same in Greece. So as long as we do that stuff for this season, the opposition that we're facing, we could go far, which is crazy considering 3 weeks ago, everyone wanted to fucking like lie down and just sleep for the rest of the year. Yeah.
Do you know what? Like unpopular opinion, because I see some chat in the chat about Martinez and Cordon and Carvajal. It really does make me wonder a few things. Like, look at Santiago Hesse today. It was unreal. Like in the first half, in particular, I think he misplaced. I think again he's not misplaced one pass today. I think one time during the 90 minutes, I saw him get dispossessed. And as soon as he got dispossessed, he won the ball back. It was just incredible performance from him. And I mean, that was Gordon or his assistant Navarro, who I don't know if he's still at the club or not. I thought Ortega had a really good game today as well. Like really solid, like defensively and just like giving options down the left-hand side constantly. And that was the Spanish Armada at the start of the season, and they're gone now. And these 3 Portuguese guys that I mentioned earlier, again, like, I mean, Adonis Economidis from Sport24 tweeted that what's his name? Pedro Alves had nothing to do with any of the signings that we brought in. So if it wasn't him, was it Carvajal's choice? I don't know who it was, but whoever did bring those players, like, chapeau. Like, they are, like, did you guys see Carmo's gesture before the penalty? Did you guys notice what he did?
Where he blocked the penalty spot and
Yeah, he was doing the classic standing there so they don't fuck up with the penalty spot. Yeah.
When's the last time you saw one of our players do that?
That's such a normal thing to do, but players like Olympiacos. This is me thinking with my Premier League brain. I'm thinking Alcabi's not taking this. Fortounis is taking this. Alcabi's just holding the ball for Fortounis so that they don't fuck with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is how, like, these things are sort of like taken for granted in the big leagues. That this is just what they do. Like, Karma's protecting the penalty spot. Alcabi's holding the ball. Fortounis is far away. He's gathering his thoughts. He's going to go take it. But then, no, like, we're getting there. Like, this is stuff that, like, the big players, the big teams sort of just do automatically. But we're eventually going to get there, I think.
Honestly, there's so many things to touch on. A few things I also liked was just like at moments we didn't play out of the back. Like Pascalakis, the ball rotated, nothing was there. The ball rotated Pascalakis, and he hit it like between the central defender and the right back or left back, and said El Kabi.
That's like as well.
Yeah, he hit the camera, El Kabi, and just told him to run. One of his favorite things to do. And sometimes
that's Mendilibar's preference. That's all.
And sometimes that works, you know. And Olympiacos for a few years now has not done that. You know, it's just okay. Recycle possession. It goes back to the 6. Jan and Villa. Let's go. Let's play again. Instead, they rotate. The defensive line comes up. El Kabi goes behind. Like if the left back comes a little too deep on Podence or Fortounis, he boots it over. And when you're not playing quality defenders from a top 5 league, sometimes when someone's on their back like that, they make some mistakes. And you saw it a few times. I think we got 1 or 2 corners off of just simple play like that and put pressure on their back line. A few of their defenders like made a mistake in the box while trying to make clearance. And it's just put pressure on these guys. Like, a lot of these guys aren't of a high level at Ferencvaros. Like, yes, it's a respectable team, but El Kabi is Guerrero-esque in that way. His press is very good. So put some of these guys under pressure and see what happens. And I don't know. I like that we're not so stubborn with how we want to build up. We do have good build-up and fluidity at moments, but we're also not opposed to going direct, which I'm not against. You know, a lot of people are, but
and that was evident from the first minute, Labro, because El Kabi got a corner from their defender. Was it Cesar? I don't remember. Where he pressured him. There's this in the 6-yard box. And they pressured him, and the guy was trying to sort of control and sort of ease the ball out, kick it out, or whatever he was trying to do. And El Kabi was just there being a bit of a prick and ended up getting a corner out of it. Do you know what I mean? But that's the sort of very, like, I don't know, like just direct football that we don't really see that much because people are trying to be smart. And don't get me wrong, if you're seeing if a top team in La Liga or Premier League are doing it, I'm rolling my eyes going, what the hell are you doing? But if a team like Olympiacos is doing it, I'm like, thank God. Like, we don't always have to try and be like clever. We can just do the basics, and it's going to end up working. Especially if you have players that plays to their strengths.
Yeah, and I feel right now we have a squad, we have a team. This is the 11 for Europe, and he's found it within a week. This is the solid lineup for the big games. I'm just. Some of the signings and some of the other people like Ruben Vezo and Cabral, personally, it's about to be March. I don't see a place for them, to be honest. Maybe we're going into the deeper part of the season. But do you guys know what I mean? You know, we have about 19 or 20 guys who I'm ready to ride with, you know, in the team, and there's just no room to like bring Ruben Vezo into the team, you know what I mean? Or Cabral. Maybe Cabral in these next 3 games gets a few chances, but the team we have here is the team we need to roll with, in my opinion, and, you know, build some chemistry. Unfortunately, Joao Carvalho is a part of that team, but anyway, we need to build on that. And I don't know what you guys think about that with some of the new signings and whatnot.
First, to answer the question, I'm not doing a Cabral deep dive. It's not happening. I did all the other ones. He's not getting one. I'm sorry. He's not. That's
you poor bastard. You did one on Vezo, but you didn't do one on Cabral.
Vezo's 5th choice central defender. I forgot
about him.
Yeah, and the Vezo one was driving me nuts too, but whatever. That's why I'm not doing one on Cabral. Sorry, like this.
Did you guys give Reto some love?
Yeah.
We did.
We did, yeah. We gave him
did.
some love earlier. Pretty
I
much
mean,
everybody's gotten some love.
Labros's love was a bit backhanded, saying if it wasn't for Cadmore, Letters would have been shy. But I think
Well-
I saved it at the end where I went. Actually, I think he had a good game in respect.
I think his first 15 minutes were nervy, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." He was playing very nervous, grabbing jerseys, and then he just calmed down. Having Carmo next to him, who looks so calm under pressure, he's almost like a surgeon. I think really calmed him down, because the first 15 minutes, you could see he was nervy, and then he grew into the game and had a great game. And in the air, he was really good. He was jumping high, clearing balls away from crosses. But yeah. But you're not going to tell me his first 15 minutes were good, Costa. Come on.
No, I wouldn't say that, but
Okay.
just like I mean, yeah, you could say he overcommitted a few times, like towards the beginning of the game, but no, mate, I thought overall he had a really solid game. Like he was good in the air, made fouls like near the halfway line, didn't give away silly fouls outside the box. No, but I think like you gotta call it out. I think the only player for me who slightly disappointed me was Fortunis. I think disappointed is maybe a bit harsh, but just like he gave the ball away in midfield and like set them up for easy counter attacks. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, so there were a couple of moments where that really frustrated me. Just like sloppy passes back straight to the opposition. And then like the opportunity he had 1-on-1, where you're just like, all right, mate, bury that. But like he wasn't awful. It was just average. I thought he was average today. If player rating starts at 6.5, like he's the only one that isn't above that for me today.
I would agree with you. there. My last thought before I go ahead and sign off and I let you guys kick it off. I haven't been this excited in like, actually, I'll say since the very beginning of this season, when we had like multiple games where we were scoring like 4 goals. Haven't been this excited to like actually watch Olympiacos games. I don't know how you guys have felt about it, but it's like today I was so excited to watch us play. I wasn't worried about how bad we were going to lose or how we were going to get embarrassed. I was excited to see what the team would bring. And I haven't felt like that in a very long time. So I was just going to leave it at that. I'll leave you boys to it. Also, merch. Keep an eye out. I got a lot of DMs about merch. I'm glad you guys are excited. The rest of the samples should be here either today or tomorrow. So I hope you guys are excited because there's some really good stuff on the shop. So I'll leave you guys with that. And I guess we'll be back again on Sunday, I think, right? Isn't that Pantolicos?
Asteras.
Yes, Sunday.
Asteras, sorry. Well, whatever it is. I'll see you guys then.
They're both blue and yellow. See you later. Right. Now that Adi's gone, the real stuff still. Where's Ramon at? No, I'm joking.
But of course, I think you brought up a comment, but Fortunis for me was very average today. I agree completely, but someone brought it up that said he was contributing defensively. And I noticed that as well. He never contributes defensively, but he was tracking back, he was getting into it. So that's one positive on that side. But yeah, I was disappointed with some of the end product today, to be honest. Or not even end product, just sloppiness, it felt like at points. And you just wanted to shake him and say, wake up, you know.
Yeah, it's not even me giving him shit. It's just like you don't expect Fortunis to give a ball away like that straight to the opposition, like creating a potentially like dangerous counter attack. Like just don't do that.
He would say the same thing. I think he would say the same thing himself.
Defensively, I think I said it after during the last podcast. I thought like you saw him pressing the ball against Bauk, and I was thinking, is this Fortunis like pressing like high up the field like with intensity? And that's that's clearly the coach, and you see that across the team. So this isn't me having to go at Fortunis and say, oh, he had an average game. So yeah, we expect more from him, and not you if you're a captain of a club like Olympiacos, you can't make those kinds of sloppy mistakes. My opinion.
Yeah, but honestly, now that I think we've talked about the game, we've talked about quite a few things. Like, what is next? Like, what is the potential this season? We talked about it. This was the week. This was the season-defining week, and we just crushed it. We destroyed PAOK. We're through in Europe, clean sheet. We have 3 games, 3 easier games before the playoffs to build some momentum. What are we looking at now this season? Like, can we actually go for this? Can we go for the title, you guys think?
Surely we're winning it all, right? We're winning the title.
But you think we can do
the Conference League and the Cup, even if we're not in it.
But
surely we're going to find a way to get back in it and win it.
But if we get a good draw in the Conference League, okay, we could draw Aston Villa, we could draw Fiorentina. Fiorentina would be a fantastic away day. If any of you guys are going, that would be a very fun one for you guys. But if we get a good draw like Victoria Plizen or
Dinamo Zagreb are in it.
Tel Aviv, I think, was one
Maccabi
where
Tel Aviv,
they don't have a
Bruges. We can play Bruges. We can play Lille. We can play Maccabi. I think if we play Maccabi, we'll play in Budapest. Actually,
if we get Bruges or Lille, drinks are on you, yeah, Costa.
It's down the road, mate.
Yeah, I'm coming. Like, it's a Eurostar for me. Both of them are easy. I mean, Bruges isn't a Eurostar, but it's like a 5-hour coach. I'm there.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, I'm down,
easy.
mate. Beers are on you. I'm keen for either of those.
Beers are on Philip Zinkernagel,
I'll take Villa.
man.
I'll take Villa as well.
Villa would be. Costa, would you go up to where even is that?
Birmingham. Yeah, mate, I'd go to Birmingham. I would look into that seriously.
Look into it
for sure.
But you know what? I think it's crazy that we could play in a quarterfinal of European competition. I know it's Conference League, but it's just after the season we've had. It's anyway, and we win these next 3 league games. Someone's going to drop points. They always do. And we're within 3 points of the league going into the playoffs. If you told me that with Diego Martinez in July, you'd say Olympiacos is in this round of 16 of the Conference League and 3 points within the title going in the playoffs. I'd be like, holy shit, he's had a masterclass. We've had a great season. It's like, imagine telling yourself that in July. You're like, we've done it, boys. We've rebuilt the club. And then, little did you know. So.
I mean, realistically, I don't want to get too carried away with Europe because we've had some absolute shockers over the years where we should have really qualified and we've just been shot ourselves in the foot. But in Greece, I think we're at least going to give it a run for give them a run for their money. It's not going to be playing with our hands down and not really caring. I think at least until the end. We're going to go for it. And if we don't win it, we don't win it. But at least I reckon they're going to do a good job at it. So that's what I expect. That's what I expect.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just there's new, whether we win the whole thing or not, we're in it, after that, what was it? After the loss to Panathinaikos, it was like, we are so finished, bury us. It's gone. We're done.
Are you talking about the cup game or the league game?
The league game, when what were we back? Like 7 or 8 points in the league at that point, and everyone was like, oh, fuck, we're done.
But this is the thing with the playoffs, right? I mean, in a way, it's a little bit ridiculous to have the whole season played out in the end and have the best teams play against each other, because it's not really... It's an American sort of style, having playoffs. It's not really a European thing. I think Belgium has it, but no other league sort of has the title decided on in the playoffs. I'm not a big fan of the playoffs. and I haven't been, even when we were winning it comfortably. But in this year, it might actually work in our favor, because if we've sort of fixed our performance and end up being a lot better, the fact that the playoffs exist gives us an opportunity to sort of catch up. Because other years, if we had been that far back, then there's too many teams that needed to fuck up for us to catch up. Do you know what I mean? So in this case, it actually works in our favor, because I don't think any of the other like, if we play like what we've been playing the last couple of games, we destroyed PAOK in Tuba, and they're the best team, in my opinion. They're the best team in the league, and we spanked them. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if we do a good job in the playoffs.
This is a question as well. This could change the dynamic.
When is the cast decision? Good question, mate.
I think
it could have already. Sorry, guys.
You cut off for a second, but go ahead.
Yeah.
If you believe the Greek reports, soon, but I'm not sure.
You're cutting in and out. Did you get that?
Yeah, you're cutting.
But anyway,
someone's having a train go past him.
Oh, that's me. That's me. I have the train.
I was going to say, I'd be surprised if at midnight
I said,
oh, he's gone.
No, he's gone.
I think he's gone to get back in. Yeah, I mean, the cast decision is going to make a big. It's gonna play a big role, but no one really knows. So,
but now that the fans are in the stadium as well, like I think our fans, they needed these results to, the stadium.
Give them an oomph.
The stadium needs to sell out almost every game of the playoffs while we still have a chance to go. It's going to be huge.
Don't someone put this in the comments? I didn't realize, but I think we've got Panathinaikos in the EuroLeague and the second leg of the round of 16 conference game on the same day.
Because it's March 7th and March 14th.
March 14th,
is that correct?
And I think that's the day we've got Panathinaikos in the EuroLeague. So I think we've got Karaskakis and Sef on the same day.
There's a chance for that.
And but I don't think they're going to be played at the same time. I think you can do one after the other. So that March 14th, put that in your diaries. That might be a huge game, a huge day with two massive games.
Yeah. Honestly, Costa, are you back or are you still lagging?
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen
back
now.
Temporarily.
He's back temporarily.
But Labrador, who do you want if you had to pick a team?
If I had to pick,
who do you want tomorrow?
I don't know. Am I back?
You're back? Are you back now?
You're back temporarily, yeah. Okay.
Am I?
Yes, you're frozen again. Oh no.
You freeze every 2
Do you know what, Costa? Do you know what, Costa? In case it cuts out before you can give us your answer, maybe you go first. Who do you want tomorrow? Well, actually, I can see you moving now. You look pretty good. Yep, you look fine.
Okay, so
there we go. Come on, give it to us.
As much as I would like Lille or Bruges, preferably Bruges, for some reason I kind of fancy the Israeli one.
Is it because they're not going to be playing in Israel?
No, not really. It's more that I think it's about time we knocked an Israeli team out, given our history against Israeli clubs. And I don't think they're that strong compared to Bruges or Lille.
Do they still have the striker? What was his name?
It's not Haifa.
Zahavi.
It's not.
I know,
Haifa.
but do they still have Zahavi? Zahavi? Do you remember him? He almost killed us that one year.
Tel Aviv. I don't know.
I think he is, right? Zahavi. Remember
is he
that?
The guy? Wait, is he the guy from 14 years ago?
No. You're thinking about the agent. That's his dad, I think.
His dad is also an agent, yeah.
You're not talking about the guy that killed us in 2010, are you?
No.
When we won 2-1 in Greece and lost 1-0 away.
No.
Okay. So they still have Zahavi. The chat confirms.
Yes, they still
chat
have him and he's a
confirms.
beast.
Not ideal.
In all
So
caps.
here are the options: Maccabi Tel Aviv, Bruges, Aston Villa, Fiorentina, Lille, Fenerbahce, Victoria Plzen. I have a gut feeling it's going to be Fenerbahce. I don't know why, but Fener or Fiorentina. Those are the ones I'm kind of. I don't know why, but those are kind of the teams.
Why is it only those? Why do we not get all 15 teams? Well, apart from PAOK.
Because they came in first place, so they get the teams that.
So they still get so they get us. Okay, fair enough.
So they get the lesser teams who didn't finish in first place.
Teams,
So
okay.
yeah. Even though they get to play the teams that drop down from your Europa League.
Yeah,
So
that's fair enough. Yeah, okay.
We can't play PAOK until the next round. So the quarterfinals. So in theory, if we both go through, we could play PAOK at that point. So yeah.
I don't really want PAOK.
Right.
It's just
Could you imagine Olympiacos Panathinaikos in the EuroLeague playoffs and Olympiacos PAOK in the Conference League quarterfinals?
Well, oh my god. I think there's going to be deaths. Like, I'm really worried. People are going to I think it's going to go crazy. Someone's going to do something stupid.
The Greek government's going to create another coronavirus. They're like, oh shit, there's another virus. We need to close stadiums.
Yeah, they're going to. It's something. I feel like someone's going to do something stupid. I really hope I'm wrong, but yeah. But I also don't want Panathinaikos in the EuroLeague playoffs, man. Like, I don't want Greek teams in European competitions against us. Let them do their own thing. And we do our own thing.
But a question I have is, if we play PAOK in the Conference League, do we have to give them away fan tickets? Is that a European mandated thing, or they wouldn't allow?
Yeah, they need to get 5% of the capacity.
5%, right? Don't they?
Is it not 10%? No, it's 10%. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, 5%. That's mad.
Would we have to give PAOK 5 to 10% of our tickets?
So that's what, 1,700 fans?
Now that would be the Greek government would be. They're like, our new cameras are not operational yet. We're not ready. Jesus Christ.
My God. What? Yeah.
Dimitri, I have a question for you.
Hit me.
Or to both of you, actually. Would you rather play Panathinaikos in the playoffs, in the EuroLeague, or would you rather play them in the final?
I'd rather play in the playoffs. So
I'd rather play them in the playoffs. Yeah, I think in the best of 5 series we have them. In a one-off game, I'm really worried. They're going to do some weird voodoo shit. Yeah, best of 5, we got them.
Yeah,
you're gonna have Dimitris Giannakopoulos like offering sacrifices, like in Monia Square or some shit.
No, man, there's something about that team. I'm worried something's gonna go. It's just like how I don't want Real Madrid in a one-off game. Like, it's the only other team I don't want. Anyone else, I'll take. Anyone, I'll take in the final. I was screaming, like, last year, I remember watching that game, Barcelona, Real Madrid, right after our game, like, rooting for Barca as if they were Olympiacos. Like, I was full on supporting them as if they were my team, going, I just don't want Madrid. And it's the same with Panathinaikos, so yeah. And also, I'd much rather have PAOK in the final of the Conference League than have Panathinaikos in the final of the EuroLeague.
But
much.
I think the Greek state would melt down if Olympiacos or PAOK played the final in Philadelphia. Like, I don't think this country could handle such a situation. Like, because PAOK would get 25% of the tickets, and they would fill up that stadium that is like deep in an. I just, could you imagine? Or even Olympiacos having like 8,000 fans in Philadelphia, like. I don't think it would happen. They'd have to move it. I don't think it would be safe.
Sounds iconic. It sounds brilliant, doesn't it?
Surely that's motivation.
That's like the only motivation the players.
I'd go to Greece even without having tickets. Even if I can't get tickets to the game, I think I'd fly to Greece. I
think fans would show up and just start destroying the stadium to destroy it. You know, they're just like ripping the seats out, smashing all this shit. They're just like, screw this place. We'll stand the whole time. Honestly, I just can't imagine. It'd be like a disaster, an epic disaster.
Isn't that what the Ajax fans did to their own stadium when Panionios needed to play a game in their stadium? Was it the other way around? Did Panionios do that to Ajax?
It was Panionios. I think they destroyed the pitch.
They destroyed the pitch so that Ajax couldn't play a game in their
tractors
stadium, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Elasto Megaliosu, like, oh my god. I'm terrified at the idea of us playing at Hagia Sophia in
And
in
have
the
you guys
conference
been to the stadium? Like, have you been to an Ike game or no?
final. No,
It is
bro.
not.
Olympiacos, why would I go to a night game?
It is not exactly an airy area. Like it is like a dense urban environment. It is like not. It's not like Oaxaca where there's tons of space. You can set up police lines. It's like, Jesus Christ, it would be a mess. It would be a complete utter mess. So honestly,
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, one step at a time. Let's see who we get tomorrow.
Okay.
I reckon we could take anyone. Even the best team in there is Villa, Fiorentina, probably Villa, to be fair, because they're having a great season this year. I reckon, especially if they put their focus on the Prem, considering they could get top 4, and them getting top 4 and qualifying for Champions League is more lucrative than winning the Conference League. And if they underestimate us, I reckon we could even take them.
I didn't realize they were doing so well this season. Wow.
Yeah, they're doing really, really well this season. I mean, they're sort of dropping off at the moment.
That's what I heard.
But they're still in with a really pretty big chance of getting top 4. So,
oh my God. Yeah, this is not. Yeah, just I'm looking at the team. It's not a shitty team, is it?
Ollie Watkins up front, mate.
No.
Honestly,
No,
I think you want Fiorentina for the away day. Fiorentina away day would be like epic. That would be
Bistecca and like Toscana red wine, mate. Like Fiorentina is like Florence is beautiful. The stadium.
Are you paying for my flights to Florence?
You can get an easy jet. What is it, London Stansted or whatever? Just take the.
You can get a cheaper flight to Florence.
A beautiful city.
Yeah. I was there this summer actually as well. The focaccia sandwiches. Have you guys ever had one of those in Florence? Jesus Christ, it's so good with prosciutto and cheese. Anyway,
I don't fuck with the north of Italy. My girlfriend's Southern Italian, so if she's watching this, just want to put that out there. We don't fuck with the north. We'll go there, we beat them, and that's it.
You got to try the focaccia. That's all I'm going to say. The focaccia bread sandwich.
I'll try the focaccia, and then I'll say it's shit compared to everything else, compared to what the South have. There we go. I'm messing.
Okay, guys. So I think on that note,
disclaimer.
Say it. What disclaimer?
No, I was saying disclaimer for the Midris.
Okay.
It's done.
Okay, guys. On that note, I think we're wrapping up. Any last comments from the crowd? Any last comments from the group?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Man of the match, Patreon. Coach's grade.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. Man of the match for me is Chiquinho. Coach's grade A-. I would have taken Fortunis off earlier. That's it. Dimitri?
I'll go with coach's grade because I need some time to think about man of the match. Coach's grade, I agree. A-. Again, I agree. Fortunis was arguably our worst player, even though he wasn't that bad. He just gave the ball away a few too many times, and I would have liked Masouras a little bit earlier just because he gives that extra bit of energy. I remember that first sub happened around 70th minute or something. I was just thinking to myself, oh, we could have done subs a little bit earlier. Apart from that, it was great. The team selection was really good. Subs, the ones that he brought on were really good. The way the team played was really good. So yeah, maybe not even A-. A. Like what? Bringing Fortunis off a little bit earlier doesn't. Yeah, I'm actually going to change it to an A. I think that was great. Man of the match is a little bit tougher because I know everyone's going Horta. You said Chiquinho. Do you know what? I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna say something that no one else is gonna say. I really like Pedense, even though he missed an absolute sitter. I thought he just gave me magician vibes. Like whenever he had the ball, it just looked like a couple of step overs. The Rabona was just beautiful. And he just seemed like he was whenever he was getting the ball in that sort of number 10 position outside of the box, he was looking really threatening. So I'm just going to give it to him just to highlight something a little bit different, because most people are going with Horta, I presume, according to the
Horta.
poll.
I think Horta is the popular pick as well. But I think Chiquinho was fantastic, and we lost Costa again, so I think he's finished for the night.
He's done. His laptop's had one too many drinks.
Exactly. I'm between Chiquinho.
He was great. He was like that.
Yeah.
That chance where he cut inside, the one I was bringing up earlier, that you were talking about, how he just knows where the defender is. That was brilliant. That was literally what you said about how well he knows. Like, he just has that presence about him. I agree that Chiquinho was brilliant. He was really, really good.
Yeah. We're being told Costa made a cinematic exit. He downed his drink, looked straight in the camera, and left. It was cinematic.
I do not think he's going to be joining us. So
I don't think so. So we'll just close it up.
He's
Guys, we'll be
fine,
back. We'll be back Sunday afternoon, evening, Greek time, to cover the Asteras Tripoli game. Hopefully we see some rotation, something new. Maybe we see a few new faces, see what they can do. Not João Carvalho. Just don't play João Carvalho, please, God. Nothing against the guy. Actually, a lot against the guy. I just hate him. But anyway, anyone but João Carvalho plays, and we're all happy and living La Vida Loca. So, guys, on that note, like, subscribe. You know the deal. Thank you so much for tuning in. Great night for Olympiacos, and we keep on dreaming into the weekend with Asteras Tripoli.
And the draw's tomorrow afternoon European time, so early in the morning. I think it's 12:30 Central Time.
Central European time. Maybe.
I know it's afternoon. I can't guarantee exactly what time, but I know it's afternoon. So early morning in the US, evening for Australia.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll talk to you later, and follow our socials for the draw analysis from Adi is coming on our opponent. In the meantime, be well. Talk soon.